Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're stepping back in time to explore a conflict that profoundly shaped world history. The First Opium War. This war, fought between Great Britain and China, wasn't just about trade. It was about power, sovereignty, and a clash of civilizations. For my English learners, this is an excellent opportunity to practice your historical vocabulary and pronunciation of proper nouns like Qing Dynasty and Guangzhou. Listen closely, and feel free to pause and repeat key phrases after me. Let's understand the causes and consequences of this significant event. The First Opium War, 1839-1842, background: the trade imbalance. To understand the war, we first need to look at the economic relationship between Britain and China in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. China, under the powerful Qing Dynasty, was a self-sufficient empire. It produced highly sought-after goods like tea, silk, and porcelain. The British and other European powers bought these goods in vast quantities, but China had little interest in European products. This created a huge trade imbalance. Britain was losing a lot of silver to China to pay for all this tea. They needed a product to sell to China that the Chinese would actually buy. And unfortunately, they found one: opium. The opium trade begins. Opium, a highly addictive drug derived from the poppy plant, was cultivated by the British in India and then smuggled into China. Initially, the trade was small, but it rapidly grew. By the 1830s, millions of Chinese citizens became addicted. This wasn't just a health crisis. It was also an economic disaster for China, as silver flowed out of the country to pay for the drug. The Chinese government, particularly Emperor Daoguang and his officials, recognized the devastating impact of opium. China's response: Commissioner Lin Zexu. In 1839, Emperor Daoguang appointed a determined official named Commissioner Lin Zexu to tackle the opium problem in Guangzhou, the main port for foreign trade. Lin Zexu took decisive action. He demanded that British merchants surrender their opium stock. When they initially refused, he blockaded their factories. Eventually, over 20,000 chests of opium were confiscated and publicly destroyed inhuman. This was a clear message from China: no more opium! The spark of war. Britain, however, viewed Lin Zexu's actions as an unacceptable infringement on their free trade rights and a direct attack on British property. They claimed they were fighting for free trade, but in reality, they were protecting a hugely profitable, albeit illegal, drug trade. The British government, heavily influenced by merchant lobbies, decided to send a military expedition to China. In November 1839, the first actual clashes occurred, marking the beginning of the First Opium War. The course of the war: British superiority. The war, which lasted from 1839 to 1842, quickly demonstrated the vast technological superiority of the British forces. The British used steam-powered gunboats, advanced artillery, and well-trained infantry. The Qing forces, while brave, were largely equipped with outdated weapons and tactics. The British captured several coastal cities, including Ningbo and Shanghai, and sailed up the Yangtze River, threatening Nanjing. The Treaty of Nanjing. Unequal treaties. Facing imminent defeat and the threat to its capital, the Qing dynasty was forced to negotiate. The result was the Treaty of Nanjing, signed in 1842. This was the first of what Chinese historians call the unequal treaties. Under the terms of the treaty, China had to open 5 treaty ports: Canton, Amoy, Foochow, Ningbo, and Shanghai for British trade; cede Hong Kong Island to Britain permanently; pay a large indemnity, a payment for damages, to Britain; abolish the Canton system, which had restricted foreign trade to just one port. Crucially, the treaty did not legalize the opium trade, but it also did not stop it. It simply gave Britain more power and access. Consequences and legacy. The First Opium War marked a turning point in Chinese history. It shattered China's illusion of self-sufficiency and demonstrated its vulnerability to Western military power. It led to a century of foreign encroachment, internal rebellions, and humiliation, known in China as the Century of Humiliation. It also opened China to the global economy in a way that forever changed its trajectory. For Britain, it solidified its global empire and secured vast economic benefits, though at a significant moral cost. The First Opium War is a complex and often tragic chapter in history, reminding us of the profound impact of trade, power, and conflict. It's a story with ripple effects that are still felt today. For your English practice, I hope this deep dive into history provided you with valuable vocabulary and an opportunity to work on your pronunciation of challenging historical terms. Which new word from this video did you find most interesting or challenging to pronounce? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this lesson helpful for both your history knowledge and your English skills, please give this video a like and subscribe for more English learning through fascinating historical events. Thank you for watching and for practicing with me. See you next time!